C'est une situation très difficile, mon frère. Welcome back, or mes amis. Welcome back to the channel of Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea news again. Ousmane Dembele looking likely to stay at Barcelona. Mate, the video when he was Don's Le Voiture speaking to the fan, seemingly was telling the truth. I'm happy at Barcelona. I want to stay at Barcelona. Big Barcelona accounts tweeting he's staying, deleting tweets, dramatic. Ben Jacobs giving an update. And also, Raheem Sterling. I think he's going to sign for Chelsea, you know. And I think it could be ultimately a good deal. But who else are Chelsea going to sign? Because it's going to have to be 2 in, 2 out, I think. And reports suggest 1 out, of course, is confirmed Romelu Lukaku to Inter on loan. And we think 1 may be Timo Werner to Juventus as part of the Matthias de Ligt deal. Check out this morning's upload for more information on that story. Guys, we're going to talk about attackers today. Settle in, please do drop a like. It's a way of supporting the channel. Do consider, if I can talk, do consider subscribing, because you are all welcome to subscribe to this channel. But if you choose to do so, make sure you click the bell notifications icon, mate. All right, look. We're going to cite an article from Sky Sports. I know. Do you remember there was a time Sky Sports were like big reputable company? But now they're just straight up banter. It is written by Melissa Reddy though. She's a reputable broadcaster / journalist. So I feel a bit better about that. Yes, and we'll talk more about Raz Sterling and who Chelsea could also be targeting, other players like Richarlison, because we will need another attacker. Make no bones about it. You know, could be Armando Broja. Chelsea might still yet sell him, which would disappoint many of you. But if perhaps we cook up a deal with the with West Ham, then maybe we could get Declan Rice. Who knows? I'm just speculating at this point. Let's quickly cite Ben Jacobs on Twitter, @JacobsBen, giving an update on Ousmane Dembele. La situation maintenant. Barca sources talking with confidence that Ousmane Dembele will stay. So that's obviously coming from Barcelona. They're going to be inclined to speak that kind of news. At no point have Chelsea agreed terms, so it's really his only option unless something dramatic changes in the next 24 hours. Oh, hold on. Tic-tac. Tic-tac. Those who know, know. No truth whatsoever in late Liverpool bid. Well, yeah, whatever. No interest at all. And no PSG offer either. And that was like a big story at some point. Everyone was like, yeah, he'll go to PSG for the money. He's a Parisian kid, I believe. Apparently, Kylian Mbappe wanted him to come and replace Neymar at one point. You know, don't know what happened there. That's just crazy stories all up in the gaff. So, no PSG offer either. Ben Jacobs goes on to say, situation remains the same. Dembele must decide within 48 hours. Tic-tac. Tic-tac. Chelsea interest is real, but they won't match his wage demands. If a formal offer materializes, it will be higher than the renewal offer. I guess the current offer on the table from Barcelona. Bearing in mind, they're flat broke, so they can't offer silly, like, Galactico wages like they used to. But for now, Dembele only has one choice. Sign or be without a club. And I think that's signed the Barcelona offer as things stand. So he goes on to say, finally, from Chelsea's perspective, a clubless Dembele gives them a little bit more leverage, but Barca sources expect him to sign. Brackets. Definitely talking with more confidence now than they were last month. And brackets. That's Barcelona, that is. If he does, it could also impact a Rafinha move to the Camp Nou, and then who knows, Leeds' Rafinha could go to a Chelsea, at Tottenham or Arsenal, whoever else are looking at him. Many top Premier League clubs are. We've always said Ousmane Dembele is like the sexy signing because he plays for Barcelona and costs like £130 million and he's in his prime and it'd be a free transfer. And he's played with Thomas Tuchel before. His best ever season in senior football was being coached by Thomas Tuchel at Dortmund. We all put 2 and 2 together and 4 + 7 and said this is the perfect sexy signing. But perhaps over time we'll reassess and think there actually are risks in this transfer in terms of adaptability, injuries, professionalism, attitude, and compatibility with the good old-fashioned Premiership, mate. You can't all play down here. It's freaking hard. Tell you someone who can and has done and won 4 out of the last 5 Premies. That, of course, is Raheem Sterling. So we can move on to that and talk about that a little bit. But I did want to do this update. I originally saw, is it Actuality Barca or something? On the website, one of the big 500,000 followers Twitter accounts said he's decided to stay. Ousmane Dembele has decided to stay at Barcelona. They deleted their tweet not long after tweeting it. So maybe it's a bit, ooh, is he going to stay? Is he going to go? But Ben Jacobs, super reliable chap that's been well respected throughout recent months on social media in terms of delivering news, pretty much say Chelsea haven't done anything. Maybe Chelsea are playing a weird game of 4D chess, just hoping he becomes a free agent without a club and he's not, you know, and then he'll be put in a position where he has to accept £160,000 a week. God forbid. Imagine having to only be paid that. That sounds awful. Poor guy. Excuse me, let's read on. Melissa Reddy, senior reporter of Sky Sports News, or Sky Sports, yeah. Man City expecting a bid from Chelsea for Raheem Sterling as Thomas Tuchel aims to boost the front line. Raheem Sterling is entertaining. He might be entertaining. Oh, he's entertaining sometimes on the pitch. Anyway, he's entering the final year of his contract at Man City. The 27-year-old is carefully considering what he believes to be the defining stage of his career. Chelsea are looking for more firepower, with Romelu Lukaku set for the Inter Milan loan. So Man City are expecting to field an opening offer from Chelsea for Raheem Sterling, as Tuchel has engaged the England international over how he would fit at Stamford Bridge. So Tuchel's spoken to Raheem Sterling on the phone like, "Hi man, you'll be my boy. Don't worry about what happened with Lukaku. You see how that went wrong? That wasn't my fault. It's probably a bit his fault, but that wasn't my fault. That won't happen to you, man. You're a London boy. You'll fit the system perfectly. Remember when we beat you in the Champions League final? You could win a Champions League. Come to Chelsea." I don't know if this is like the hard sales tactic that that Thomas Tuchel would go with, but that's how I'd do it. Let's read on. The forward heads a shortlist. He heads the shortlist, so he's at the top of the list of the managers attacking targets, and enters the final year of his contract with Premier League champions, who are grateful for his service and will not obstruct his desire for greater minutes and status elsewhere. Highlight the word status. It's not just about playing more, it's about being the main man. 27-year-old, talismanic for England, been really consistent for City, can go back to his home city and be top boy, or at least try to be, and be born again. He's been at City for a long time, enjoyed great success, will back himself now in his career more than ever as a 27-year-old. This could be the perfect big move for him. Pep Guardiola has repeatedly stated, quote, "I don't like to keep players that are unhappy," end quote, and is open to allowing Sterling's exit this summer, even to a Premier League rival. Well, they did with Jesus to Arsenal, but how much of a rival are Arsenal? You know, you decide that. On a condition, an acceptable bid in the region of £50 million is tabled. Now, we originally heard things like 25 million plus bonuses, then 35 million, which is super unrealistic considering the quality and the profile and the fact how you're buying off a rival. But some reports I've seen poked around the media and different publications and headlines that maybe £45 million would do it. And that would be very acceptable, if you ask me, considering the target. 45 million sounds good to Yanni. Does it sound good to you? Comment down below. Tuchel is desperate to add a decisive edge in the final third to cure Chelsea's goal-scoring issues. And pause. I also think that getting the wing-backs in, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, getting him back in form, it's so important for us having goal-scoring wing-backs. That would help, but having some more actual front three players that can move around, press, and score goals, Sterling would prove to be one of those. Sterling would offer the German guaranteed threat. He has directly contributed to 165 goals in the division in 320 appearances. So that is more than a goal involvement every other game consistently, which is very good, considering he's not a striker as well. I mean, that's an elite return for a striker, let alone like a whatever he is as a forward. That's very good. Appearances between Liverpool and City. as well as tactically flexible and experienced. The 27-year-old believes he's in the decisive phase of his career and wants to make a significant contribution on and off the pitch. He wants to be the boy. You can't be the boy in Pep's team. Jack Grealish has found that out. And he said recently, Jack Grealish in an interview, scared to give the ball away. Sterling, tactically really good, but has the opportunity at Chelsea to be a little bit more, maybe expressive in the final third. I think he probably could be. So his in the Premier League last season, in 30 games, he scored 13 goals and 5 assists. That's 18 goal involvements in 30 games. His big chance conversion is 48%. I have to see some comparative stats to know if that's good or not. But that's like, he's got a 50% chance of converting a big chance. Is that good considering it's a big chance? I know people say he misses chances, but we'll have to see. He has held respectful discussions with City in this regard, and a decision on his future will revolve around the influence he will be able to have, especially in big matches. Tuchel contacting Sterling and spelling out his vision speaks to how serious Chelsea's interest is. They have also tracked Barcelona's Ousmane Dembele and Everton's Richarlison. Well, we've spoken about Ousmane Dembele at the top of the video. Richarlison is a player we've looked at before as well, though reaching double digits for goals in the league last season. He is a very sort of defensive forward, but maybe that's because he played for Everton. I think Richarlison would probably be a good signing. The fact how City can cede 2 attackers to members of the Big Six, of course Gabriel Jesus for 45 million also, and potentially Sterling to Stamford Bridge without trepidation, is a sign for their solid recruitment and the gap that exists between the club. Well, of course they've signed some guy called Erling Haaland. I've never heard of him. And Alvarez. He's played in the Argentina league, and we don't know Haaland if he's going to immediately slot in and succeed. So there's a little bit of risk, but fair play. Intra-league transfers at the top of the table are set to become more common as European league teams struggle to financially compete with their English counterparts. Ultimately, man, this was an inevitability. There's more money in the Premier League. If you want more money from your forwards, you have to sell within the league. You have to keep it in the league. Keep it in the family, mate, and all that. Chelsea are considering rivaling Tottenham for Everton's Richarlison. The Blues are interested in the Brazil striker as a potential replacement for Inter Milan-bound Romelu Lukaku. Man, it's funny how life comes at you fast, and you think one thing last summer, you hear what's happening this summer, and boy, we've been through it, haven't we? However, Tottenham are targeting a package deal for Everton's Richarlison and Anthony Gordon. Where's this money coming? Oh, no, they took a big loan, didn't they, Tottenham? Thomas Tuchel could sign as many as 3 new forwards? I don't know about that, mate. With interest in Sterling, Ousmane Dembele, soon to be out of contract. Again, we've spoken about Ousmane Dembele. In defence, Chelsea are also targeting new centre-backs after losing Christensen and Rudiger. Christensen today has posted a social media goodbye to the Chelsea fans, pretty much saying thanks for everything, etc., etc. Love you, bye! See you, mate. Nathan Ake seems to really be a thing as well. Thomas Tuchel targeting Nathan Ake to get him back at the club. Apparently, he's targeted him or wanted to buy him for his Dortmund side years ago. I mean, how many players are Man City going to sign to Premier League rivals? I don't know. And of course, we've spoken at length about Matthias de Ligt. We're keeping an eye on that. Timo Werner could be involved in that deal, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What do you think, though? Let me know how you feel about potentially looking like we've missed out on Ousmane Dembele. This amount of money for Raheem Sterling that Tuchel has personally called up and tried to convince to come to Chelsea. Of course, Simon Johnson of The Athletic has reported or stated on the Athletic Football Podcast, that Raz Sterling himself has contacted Chelsea players to feel out what it's like to play for Chelsea, what it's like to train, what Tuchel is like. When a player does that, it often means they're serious about joining the club. Comment down below, keep it locked. Please do hit the bell when you subscribe so you don't miss a beat, mate. Thank you for joining me. See you very soon. Peace.